If you're anything like me, you probably have a giant backlog of commanders you're wanting to build. And with the giant backlog comes something called choice fatigue. Choice fatigue is basically when you have so many different options to choose from, can't pick any at all. Similar to like your Steam library. So recently I've been trying to 1v1 choice fatigue and I'm losing. So I thought, what better way to choose my next commander than to let fate decide. Recently I've been getting into darts. I bought a dartboard for my studio because I thought that was a smart idea and I suck. So when I was playing one night, I thought, why don't I just let the dartboard decide for me? So yeah, that's the concept for this video. As always, I have to remind you, I'm a Palms Off Gaming affiliate. Use my link in the description, support local business, and support some just really cool, awesome guys that also support creators like me. Now, the idea for this video was pretty simple. I was going to pick 20 commanders that I liked, assign them all from 1 to 20, and I'm just going to throw a dart at the dartboard. Wherever it lands is whatever I build. Now, I know you could say that I could just aim at a certain number, but genuinely, all these 20 commanders I want to build equally, and I really like almost pretty much all of them the same. I think they're really cool, really unique, and really interesting. And once I let go of the dart anyway, wherever it flies is wherever it flies. I'm not a very good dart player anyway. Side note, while I was doing some graphic design for this video, I actually discovered that there's 2 different Magic the Gathering cards in the game that actually feature dartboards. One being Dart Throw, which is pretty obvious, and the other being Indomitable Creativity, which I think is from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Now with all this being said, it's time to throw our dart and see where it lands. Here we go. Got it all marked out. I missed. I missed. 5. What's 5? I think 5 is Talion. It is. 5 Talion. Pretty good card. Pretty good build. Happy with that. Alright, now that we have our commander, I'm going to go into my research phase. I'm going to find all the cards I like for the deck, compile the best 99 that I can find, and then I'll share my list with you. Hello, I'm back. It's been a couple days. I've looked through all the different cards I thought would be really good for Talion. I found the exact strategy I want. I know exactly how I want to build him. So now let me show you what I got. But first, let me actually tell you what Talion does. Talion is a 2 generic, 1 blue, 1 black, 3/4 flyer, which has a really interesting line of text. As Talion enters the battlefield, choose a number between 1 and 10. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with a mana value, power, or toughness equal to the chosen number, that player loses 2 life, you draw a card. Now, depending on what power level you generally play at and what power level you decide to build this deck at, Talion can be really flexible. The philosophy behind what number you're picking is definitely reliant on what power level you're playing at. And for example, if you're playing really high power, like bracket 4 or 5, 1s and 2s are really, really good because a lot of people play instants and sorceries and really high value, low mana cost spells. But if you're playing in lower bracket levels where people are playing more creatures and stuff like that, 3s and 4s are also really good at just like helping you draw cards. Now, I'm trying to land this Talion deck into a bracket 4, so generally when I play him, I'm going to be picking numbers like 1 or 2, maybe 3 depending on what I'm versing, but let me show you the catch. The most interesting way I found to build Talion was with clones, and thankfully because he's in blue, there's plenty of options. Blue houses a giant range of clone cards and so many different ones that enter as non-legendary copies as well, so that's exactly the route we took and exactly the way I wanted to build it. I love the idea of having like 5 Talions on the battlefield from numbers 1 to 5, so whenever anyone casts anything, I'm drawing cards and they're losing life. It just sounded hilarious. Now to show you what cards matter into this deck, I've split them into 2 categories: cloning, taxing. Cloning section, pretty self-explanatory, and the taxing sessions, more just like your drain effects. Stuff that makes it really taxing for people to play at the table, not in a stacksy way, but in a way where anytime they try to do something, they're gonna lose life. As for the clones we've added to this deck, some of the best ones include Spark Double, Shakashima the Imposter, and of 1,000 Faces, simple stuff like Clone, and really good sorceries like Quantum Misalignment. Quantum Misalignment is definitely one I have to highlight here. It says create a token that copies a target creature you control, except it isn't legendary. However, the really strong part is that this also has rebound, meaning that on your next upkeep, you can also cast it again for free. Think of a scenario where your commander's on the board, you cast Quantum Misalignment, you've copied your commander, now you've got 2. Your original commander cares about number 2, and now your copy cares about number 3. You get to your upkeep, you cast it again, you make another token copy. Now all of a sudden, you can do 2, 3, and 4. This sounds hilarious. Now, there are other cloning effects in here that do create copies that are still legendary, which is a problem, but there is a way to solve this. Now, it might be expensive, but Mirror Gallery is a 5-cost artifact that removes the legend rule. This is a great way to get even more copies and push the boundaries of really what you're going to be able to do. And obviously to find it, there's plenty of tutors in this deck. Now let's talk about how we're going to tax our opponents. For this section, we've included cards obviously like Sheoldred, as well as something called Rug of Smothering, which I've never heard of before I built this deck, which I thought was really, really cool. We've also added stuff like Notion Thief and Orcish Bowmaster, which both denies people from drawing cards without them getting really, really grumpy. And finally, we've also added Bloodchief Ascension because this combo is really, really good when paired with Mindcrank. I believe this is our only real infinite combo to win the game, and it's really, really strong, and I love it so much. Other than that, I have a really honorable mention called Yahenni's Expertise. This is a 4-mana semi-board wipe, which gives all our creatures -3/-3 into a turn. And when this spell does resolve, you can cast a card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its cost. The best thing about this card is that Talion is a 3/4, meaning you're never going to kill your commander, and ideally none of the clones as well. This is a great way to get little things off the board, do a little board wipe, and then cast something for free. Yeah, overall, this is how I'd build Talion. Check out the full deck list down below. You can find all the clones in there. There are so many more than what I've talked about, and there are just so many ways to make more and more Talions. As always, thank you so much for watching this video and making it to the end. That's very impressive. If you like the concept for this video, please let me know, and I could make it into a whole series where I go through the entire dartboard and build all 20 commanders, and I think that would be really fun. And finally, check out my links in the description, check out some other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.